Hello everyone. So this is a Boardroom GD. We have seven members with us who will be attending this. Okay. So guys, I'll give you a very brief introduction and then you can discuss among yourself. It will be a 15-minute discussion and then I will need you to give the solution. Okay. Here you go. So your company is facing a massive employee attrition problem, particularly among mid-level managers. So as the executive board, discuss the key reasons and formulate a strategic retention plan. Okay, you have the data with you. You can access it anytime you want. And you are given 15 minutes for this discussion. So, and please don't make it a fish market as it won't be good for you. Go ahead. You can start anytime you want. I have started the timer, so it's on you guys.
In data, it was shown that lack of career growth was the major reason of that attrition. So we can go for some clubs or making some clubs or programs for these mid-level managers to grow their careers in the company.
Yeah, I totally agree with my colleague that we should focus on the career development because for mid-level managers, their knowledge boost is necessary to their career growth and as well as the company. Because if we don't give them the adequate knowledge, they can't take the right decision, and their skills will left behind, which can cost to the company. Also, to train them to give more knowledge around the industry level, it can boost our company's profit and it will make us more competitive and reduce the attrition rate.
I
Adding
would
to
also like to
Another
point
aspect
out
of this
that
discussion would be that there's a higher attrition rate because of the employees feeling that they are not being compensated fairly. So if we look at the competitors and analyze what they have implemented to tackle these issues, we would see that they have given the employees stock options and they have employed the strategy of regular salary adjustments. So that could be used by us as well. That would imbibe a feeling amongst the employees that they are being valued and they would feel that they can grow in the organization, which would help in lowering the attrition rate.
I would also like to add that while we are focusing on lack of career growth and better opportunities elsewhere, we would should also maintain our focus on everything else like inadequate compensation, work-life imbalance, etc. Because they are also they are also being contributing to the source of them leaving. So I think the focus of it will be on an overall section. It should not be on a particular section.
I also like to add one point here that one of the major section which is having the attrition rate is the mid-level managers, and I think we can start a program where we can finance them an executive MBA program or a manager development program where they will be able to seek for better financial opportunities within the company itself with a particular situation where they can return to the company with a gaining more industry level knowledge and expertise, and this might help in improving their loyalty to the company and staying
I would
within it.
like I would
Here,
like
I
to
I
want to
add
add
while
a
the
point
I would
that
like
there could be repercussions for this move. Since you said that we would like to finance the employees in their executive MBA program, but that would lead to more stress and workload on the employees, and the employees are already suffering from work-life balance problems. So that would be a repercussion that we would face. That would go on to add on to our problems. So I
uh,
feel that
that
we have to devise better solutions
we are we sh-
instead of doing this. We could bring certain training sessions for our mid-level employees by hiring industry experts, and that could be a viable way to for us to train the mid-level managers instead of giving them an opportunity to go into an MBA, and which would worsen the work-life balance.
I
The
also want to
impact of
add that
attrition is not
one of
only
the
on the
main
mid-level
aspect is
managers, but also a financial impact on the company as well. As we could see, the average cost of replacing a mid-level manager is $25,000, and the total annual loss is equal to 8.4 million US dollars. So the impact is not only the individual manager, but for the company as a whole as well.
I
I
I
would
would
also
also
want
also
to
like to
add that
point out that after studying the competitors' data, can see that most of the competitors have the attrition rate below the industrial average. So we should first of all see what the competitors are doing that we are not doing, and we should look into the competitors' analysis and see it.
I want to make the point that as we have seen the Grammar Corp, which has 12% of attrition rate, which is minimum, so they are introducing the strong employee engagement, and we have around 80% of cases where the toxic work culture is the reason of attrition rate. Thus, we should focus on strong employee engagement as well while introducing the things like improvement in career opportunities, so that so that the mid-level manager can rejoice the bond with the company and pay more and love more to work in our company.
I wanted to come
One
with a
thing, yes,
strategy.
we should
Uh,
introspect ourselves, and we should see the employees are a major reason for attrition is that the employees are finding better opportunities elsewhere. So we should introspect in ourselves and talk to the employees of what is actually the company lacking. We should talk to all the employees and devise a strategy so that we ourselves could provide the opportunities for growth to our employees. So that would be a good move for us to
We could see that the
reduce our
lack of
attrition.
work-life imbalance could be the reason why HR department has a lesser exit rate as compared to other software or product manager. So, more effective if they work more effectively, the attrition rate could be bring down in other departments as well.
I wanted to come with a
One of the
strategy first, which we are making a club for a career growth and also going for a industry faculty seminar, which was also reduces the lack of career growth of the mid-level managers. After that, we can make managers of head of the club or in events, head of the events of industry faculty seminars, which they got recognition in the company. And after that, we can also make some efforts or some um, culture activities in the company which focusing on work life balances and also their reducing the toxic work culture.
In order
Also,
to
I would
address
like
Another
to
this,
adding
aspect
on
that
that
we are
point.
missing
I
out,
would like to say
another
that
aspect that
I
we
would
are
like
missing
to
out is that the attrition rate on the basis of departments, which is mentioned. So if we see the attrition rates across various departments and organizations, we can see that the HR department has a fairly good attrition rate, which is below 12%, which is below the industry average. However, the sales and marketing and the product development has a high attrition rate. So we need to figure out what is causing this attrition rate. Where it's whether the higher level managers are expecting more out of these employees, or there is some problems in the targets that are being set, which is causing the employees of these departments to be overburdened with work and causing them to leave our organization.
also
We
like
could
to
take
add
the
on
example of
another point
Alpha
that
Tech, as they have the attrition rate half of Technova, as their strategies involve fast track promotions and usually promotions to the higher salary employees in the software and product management department. So that would be a good strategy to reduce the attrition rate.
but
One of the
that can
key
also
important
be a
aspects
double-edged
that
sword. If you prematurely promote a mid-level manager who was not ready for the high-level role, so it can also bring harm to the company. So we
As
should
we could
make this
say,
decision. we should make this decision based on facts and figures, and don't overly rely on figures that our competitors have produced.
I think we
I'd
have
like
summarized
I
the problems that are being arise. Now we
I'd
should
like to add
focus
one
on
point
what
here.
is the solution. Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. I'd like to add here that being a IT and software company itself, the attrition rate being higher in the software department itself is, I think, one of the should be one of the major focus for the company, because the core service they are providing is where the attrition rate is higher. So I think one of the major focus that they should do is why, if they can introduce any sort of if they can provide a competitive pay, or if there is any if the tech stack is not up to the mark with their other competitors, where the employees are not feeling the career growth can be a better prospect in that particular company itself. So I think, yeah, that is one of the areas they can focus. Yeah,
I
Yeah,
would
and
please
this
like
go
to
would
ahead.
summarize
completely
the
better that
discussion that is being
Pratharan
done
is
by the
saying
group.
that he
So
wants
the
to point
problems
out.
that were identified by the group was that employees are being feel overburdened by work, and which is causing a higher attrition rate. So the solutions that have been discussed so far are to compensate the employees with a higher pay grade, and to introspect within the organization of whether the employees are being overburdened with higher targets, and the top level managers are expecting more out of their employees. uh, the second solution or that was suggested in the discussion was that we should train our employees using industry experts so that they feel valued, and they have better prospects to grow in their career, and that would help them to invite sort of loyalty towards the organization, which would help to reduce the attrition.
I would also like to add another point that can be a solution for this. I would like to add a mentorship program in which high level leaders will look up to medium level managers, and medium level managers will look for the lower level managers. In this, I think it will introduce a sense of belonging in the managers, which will make them stay loyal to the company.
Yeah, understood. Pratharan, you have got a point right there. But before, whenever we were talking about the promotions, you pointed out that we may ended up promoting people faster. But I think that is the one of the key aspect which is ticking all the boxes. If we promote people, we will tackle all the problems such as lack of career growth, inadequate compensation, lack of recognition, and finding better opportunities elsewhere. There are four targets we are, tackling it with just promotions, if we say so. The another point I'm like to point out here is that we are not talking about employee recognition or strong connection with the employees, such as employees of the month, better player, you know, these sort of things where HR people engage more and more with the team so that they feel that they are the part of a community, or they all of them are working towards a similar goal. Once we detach themselves from just the compensation towards working towards the same goal, I think we can change the attrition rate more towards, if people feel more involved in the company, we might able to reduce that also.
We can run of time. So I wanted to conclude this with a strategy. We can make a strategy. First one with a make club for career growth or industry faculties seminar, and high level mentors needs to mentor the mid level managers, which was a makes a career growth for the mid level managers. After that, we can focusing on a work life balances by giving them a for, and after that we can make head of make mid-level managers of the to the head of the clubs which they got recognition. And last we can go for a finding a major reason and about inadequate compensation and toxic work culture, and trying to resolve this.
I would like to add another point here. Betasoft, who is having a 17% retention rate, has one of the retention strategy as stock options. So if the company in question here is not able to compensate in terms of direct cost to company, then they can decide on giving a higher stock options to the employees, which might be a good retention plan on their part.
Okay. I think you guys are done and no more conclusions are needed for this GD. You guys took 14 minutes and there was not a single conclusion that had a particular strategy. All you guys had was ideas and only ideas. In a boardroom GD, you are the managers, you are the CXOs, CFOs, CHROs, you are the chiefs who are handling the decision making of the company. You were just talking about all the data that I gave, quoting that, and just going for it. Boardroom GD, I gave you a data, I gave you a problem. So I need a strategy. If tomorrow I want to implement this, how will I do it? There were four conclusions in in your discussions. One was with Anas, I think. Second one, Sumit took. Then someone added, Prantaran added. Uh, After Anas, I think Gaurav added. So this is not a you are going.
Sir, voice break.
Sorry guys, I think I just crashed. Yeah, so you all are deciding a future for a company. This is not a how a boardroom GD works. You all are in a single team. You are not competing with each other. Okay. I know there were some doubts and there were some clashes of ideas, but that has to be resolved then and there, right? If Pratham, you have any Gaurav, if you have a problem with any idea that Pratham gave, you have to get it then and there, right? You have to correct it then and there because this is a discussion and you need to, at the end of 15 minutes, you took 14 minutes. At the end of 15 minutes, the panel needs a strategy that can be implemented tomorrow. Okay. Let's start from the beginning. Sumit, whenever you start a boardroom GD, you have to ensure that all of the panel you are doing the discussion with are on the same page. Okay. Whoever is starting the boardroom GD has to make sure that all the panelists who are with you are in a team, right? They are not your opponents, they are not your competitors, they are your team, and you have to work with them. Okay.
Sorry,
Boardroom
sir,
GD,
but
yeah,
boardroom GD is like G.
kind of. That's why I told
Okay,
you it's a group evaluation.
okay, okay. Like
Whatever
sorry, sir,
ideas,
we had no idea of it.
that's
Okay,
that's why I wanted to explain it before.
okay,
Okay, I'll explain it again. The next one will be a situational GD, which will be very similar.
okay.
You are all judged on a group decision, right? It's not a group discussion, it's a group decision, right? You are not competing against each other. All right. So whoever is starting, first make sure that you all are on the same page, discuss the problem, because the data you all have is same, right? So all of you can refer to the data, and what they want is not the data that I have given you or they have given you. They want you to extract information from that data, analyze it, and think about strategies that you can input it. Okay. So first of all, starting was very lackluster. Sumit, you just started and it was like, let's go, let's just push this GD in a direction. Then love followed you and I added some points. Then Anas came with compensation. First came training, then compensation. Then Pratham was like, I want to give a, we should focus on whole thing at a time, right? You are focusing on the attrition rate. Employees attrition होता क्या है? Employee जब छोड़ के जाता है, okay? उसका रेट जो है वो एम्प्लॉय attrition,
Sir,
wholesome development.
voice lag.
Am I audible, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes.
ठीक है.
Now
सर
प्रांतर, या
सर मैंने सबसे पहले प्रॉब्लम क्या बताया था कि सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम
Sumit,
एडिशन की है।
Sumit,
हाँ हाँ
let me give my feedback first,
ठीक ठीक
and then we can discuss what your problems are, okay? So then Prantaran came with higher studies opportunities for, you know, these are ideas, guys. Loyalty, work-life balance problems, training sessions, competitor analysis, data-driven. Love you went for, you know, all the data that was given and just stated it outright, right? तुमने वहां से पढ़ा जो डॉक्यूमेंट में मैंने दे रखा था, you just read it out and you know just put some words in it. उसका solution क्या है? How are we providing insights? क्या है उसमें से? तुम्हें क्या समझ में आया उसमें से? स्ट्रैटेजी, सुमित ने स्टार्ट किया स्ट्रैटेजी की साइड जाना कि भाई चलो 5 मिनट हो गए, 7 मिनट हो गए, लेट्स क्रिएट अ स्ट्रैटेजी एंड डिस्कस इट अमंग देमसेल्व्स. Then it went for a fish market. At the starting only I told you guys, fish market नहीं बनाना है. This is not a normal GD. Fish market बना दिया, ठीक है. Anas, too many entries. मतलब you were cutting in between, you were not letting others speak. Good thing in a normal GD, a very detrimental thing into a boardroom GD. Okay. Because you have to let others speak so that you can refute with them or agree with them. Okay. That's why starting में ही मैंने बोला, you are not competing against each other. You are a team and you have to reach a decision. Whatever steps you take, whatever the ideology, whatever the thinking process that you take is going to be judged. Not your performance in, you know, cutting and speaking. But you have to let others know your ideas as well as listen to others' ideas also. Okay. Fast track promotions, facts and figures. Yes, these all things are being, you know, already mentioned. नहीं भी mentioned है तो ये लोग कोई भी Google भी करेगा तब भी मिल जाएगी. Topic, the topic I gave you was your company is facing a massive employee attrition problem, particularly among mid-level managers. As the executive board, you have to discuss the key reasons and formulate a strategic retention plan. Strategic retention plan बनाना था, नहीं बनाना था? Plan क्या है? Last में, I think Gaurav, you did the conclusion, na? Last conclusion was given by you.
I think I was just adding points. It wasn't a part of conclusion, but I was heading towards the strategy making part. I was making sure that we are sticking to promotions, we are sticking to recognition of employees and other things. So I was
But then you stopped altogether, right?
yeah, but I wasn't concluding. I thought we will conclude in the last 2 minutes because 13 minutes
Okay.
of discussion is much needed because the data was heavy. The strategy
Yes.
needs
That's why I
to be.
gave you, that's why I gave you 15 minutes. Riza, is there a problem? If not, you can put your hand up. Yes. That's why I
No,
gave you all 15 minutes. That's why I gave you all 15 minutes because I knew that data is heavy and you have to discuss among yourselves. But you were just going against each other. All right. You didn't know what a boardroom GD is. This was your very first experience. So you got
Sir,
a lot to learn. Right.
sir,
Yes,
if
Pratham.
if 13 minutes are up and
Hmm.
someone had already started the conclusion and say 14 minutes are up and 1 minute is
Hmm.
left.
Hmm.
So we have been told very strictly that after a conclusion is done,
Hmm.
you cannot
Hmm.
say anything.
Exactly.
So in this also we cannot say anything. No?
No,
Okay.
because you're if you're
Sir, voice lag.
the solution, na, you have just is it just for Pratham or for everyone else?
It is for me
For
also, sir.
us, yeah, for me also.
Okay. I hope it's fine now.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Yeah. So Pratham, whenever you submit something, na, so
Yes, sir.
basically conclusion is a submission,
Yes,
right?
sir.
You
Yes, sir.
can't retract it,
Yes, sir.
and you are a team, so there can't be multiple submissions.
Okay.
Okay. So a team submission is a submission that's done.
Like,
If you
sir,
have
no
any,
matter how bad it is.
exactly.
Okay. Like we cannot do anything after it has been
That's
uploaded.
the whole point of a GD. Any
Okay.
GD, you can't say
Yeah.
anything after, conclusion goes.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So I think first conclusion was given by Sumit. I think you gave the first conclusion. No, you
I
gave the
gave the
last
first.
conclusion.
I gave.
Yeah, Anas, you gave the first conclusion. Then Prantaran went for another point. Then someone gave another conclusion. Then someone. So basically, you gave three. In total, I counted three conclusions. Okay. And that was because some other person was adding points, adding points, adding points. If someone is given the conclusion, no need to add on that. What's done is done. You can't change the outcome of your whole
Sir,
discussion.
so like Anas said, we up to this point, I would like to summarize. So that
Hmm.
was summary, not conclusion.
Yeah, even
Yes.
I was confused because
Yes.
when he said summarize, I thought
Yes. Yes.
we are still on to
Mm.
discussion because there was some time left also. There
Yes, there
was
was
Yeah,
eight
with the
minutes left.
time, it was a
Yeah, there was
conclusion.
7 minutes
Yes.
left when he said
Yes.
that I will summarize all those things.
So
So we thought that was a summary.
that was the fault on Anas' part. That he gave the conclusion at 7 minute 8 minute mark. Okay. You still had 7 minutes for going, and he gave the conclusion very early, which is very with you have been given 15 minutes, utilize it, na?
I actually was not aware that we are 15 minutes. I thought it's 10 minutes and I lost track of time. So I thought it's better to conclude.
Okay. All
Sorry.
right then. So make sure that you keep whenever you're giving a GD, wear a watch. Okay. Listen carefully when the instructions are being given, how many time you have, how much time you have, as well as how much time is left. Okay. So you don't go early and get, refuted by your uh, fellow panelist. Okay. Now, if you have any questions, go ahead. Any doubts?
Like how to formulate the strategy out of discussion. Like, okay, in normal discussions we do conclusion thing,
Hmm.
but I think that conclusion is should be different from the strategy.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
like, what should it includes?
Okay. So this is what a person sitting in a boardroom GD who is starting has to make sure that he has to lead. One person has to lead the whole discussion. Okay. Yes, Riza, there will be another discussion. That will be a situational GD. Okay. No way. So, love, what happens in a boardroom GD? One person has to lead. Okay. They have to, drive the whole discussion. Tamanna, if you don't have any doubt, please.
Actually, I do. I'm so sorry to interrupt.
Okay.
I just wanted to ask, like, if there is going to be another GD, like, I have a mock interview scheduled at 10 p.m. So, do you think that we will be able to complete the second GD by then? Because I wanted to participate. If not, then I will just,
Tamanna, I don't think we'll be able to do that because it's 9:40 and I'm still giving
yeah, okay,
feedback.
okay, no
Okay.
problem. Okay, thank
Uh, Love, right? Oh, sorry. So, love, for you all, whenever a person drives the GD, boardroom GD, what they have to do is make sure the team stays uh, in on the pace that we are going. Okay, so that we don't do a early conclusion like Anas did, or we can do, or we don't have to do multiple conclusions. All right. So mostly what happens is the person who starts and drives the GD has to submit the conclusion or the plan that we are formulating. Okay. Now, how to formulate? They have to ask each and every panelist what their ideas are, how they see the data, and what do they think are the problems as well as the solutions that they are providing. Okay, and how it can be implemented in real life via different ideologies as well as using different tools. Okay, so this is what happens in a normal boardroom, not a boardroom GD, normal boardroom in a company where the board of directors are sitting with CXOs. Okay, so this is what happens. They drive a GD, they drive the discussion, and they formulate a strategy, and they end it on it. Okay, got your answer, love?
Sir,
Yes.
Yes, Pratap.
sir, in this, do we get roles? Like we have given this type of GD before, and in that we were given roles. So we had a
We
clear things like we had to say in that aspect. In
agreed.
this, in this way, it was like free for all. We could
Yes.
come in every aspect. We could criticize in every
See,
aspect.
Pratham, let me
Yes,
tell you,
yes, sir.
boardroom GDs can be role played. Okay,
Yes, yes, sir.
so they can give you a role, or
Yes, sir.
they'll let you decide on yourself. Okay,
The role.
so yeah, you can decide your
Oh,
roles.
okay.
So the person who is driving the GD,
No, no. I'm asking them if
yeah,
every
that's what
time.
I'm saying.
No, no. I'm
That's what I'm
asking if
saying.
every time we will be given a role or it will be like free for all.
Not necessarily. They can give you a role or they won't. That depends
Okay,
on the person who is taking the GD. Okay,
okay, okay,
that solely depends on them.
okay.
Okay,
Got it.
हाँ,
as I know, yeah. So, yes, Sumit.
मैंने जीडी स्टार्ट करा था। जो
Hmm,
सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम है लैक ऑफ करियर ग्रोथ, तो
hmm,
मैंने प्रॉब्लम डिस्कस करी।
hmm,
ठीक है, फिर मैंने छोड़ दिया कि आगे प्रॉब्लम डिस्कस होगी, कि 2-3 मिनट प्रॉब्लम डिस्कस हो जाती है।
hmm,
फिर सबने प्रॉब्लम डिस्कस कर ली, अपने अपने
hmm,
पॉइंट्स दे दिए, फिर मैंने एक
hmm,
स्ट्रेटेजी इंप्लीमेंट करी।
hmm,
लेकिन मैंने सोचा उसके बाद कोई ऐड पॉइंट करेगा उस स्ट्रेटेजी में, मैंने क्योंकि सिर्फ
hmm,
करियर ग्रोथ का बोला था, तो मैंने सिर्फ पहले उसी की स्ट्रेटेजी दी,
hmm,
और मैंने और सारी वर्क लाइफ इम्बैलेंस वगैरह छोड़ दिया।
hmm.
लेकिन किसी ने पॉइंट ही ऐड नहीं करा, फिर आखिरी में जब सब।
एग्जैक्टली
हाँ।
एग्जैक्टली सुमित, मैं यही बता रहा हूँ। इफ यू आर स्टार्टिंग ना, तो तेरे को प्रॉब्लम डिस्कस नहीं करनी है।
ओके।
अगर तू स्टार्ट कर रहा है तो यू आर द पर्सन विल बी आस्किंग प्रॉब्लम्स, नोटिंग देम डाउन, noting all the solutions down. Okay, and then asking all other people who are participating कि आपको और कोई प्रॉब्लम दिख रही है और कोई सोल्यूशन दिख रहा है या नहीं। ठीक है, तभी आपको पता चलेगा ना कि स्ट्रैटेजी क्या फॉर्म करनी है। देन यू विल सजेस्ट द स्ट्रैटेजी फर्स्ट टू योर फेलो पैनलिस्ट। ठीक है, ये स्ट्रैटेजी हम लोग बनाई है,
हम्म।
विल दिस वर्क और नॉट, अकॉर्डिंग टू ऑल द पैनलिस्ट। इफ दे अग्री और इफ दे डोंट अग्री, यू कैन वोट ऑन इट। ठीक है ना, या हाउ मेनी पीपल अग्री ऑन दैट और नॉट। ठीक है, सो दीज आर सम टैक्टिक्स कि अगर तुम्हें लग रहा है कि ये स्ट्रैटेजी नहीं काम करेगी, तुम्हारे हिसाब से सही है, 2 लोगों को लग रहा है नहीं करेगी, 4 लोगों को लग रहा है करेगी, देन इट्स अ वीटो पावर। ठीक है,
सो
बट
मैंने सोचा
हाँ।
था कि और पॉइंट्स ऐड होंगे, कोई और पॉइंट ऐड करेगा, इसलिए मैंने चैट में भी डाला कि
हम्म,
स्ट्रेटेजी बनानी है। लेकिन किसी ने चैट देखा ही नहीं। उसके बाद लास्ट में जब समराइज हो गया, तो
हम्म,
कंक्लूजन में भी किसी ने स्ट्रेटेजी नहीं दी, तो मैंने,
हम्म,
अब वो जीडी खराब हो गया, तो मैंने सोचा एक
हम्म,
कंक्लूजन में एक स्ट्रेटेजी आ जाए,
हम्म।
ताकि हमारा जीडी थोड़ा ग्रुप डिस्कशन थोड़ा सा सही जाए।
स्ट्रैटेजी जितने कंक्लूजन तूने दिए और जिसने कंक्लूजन दिया, मेरे को किसी में स्ट्रैटेजी नहीं मिली।
हम्म।
ठीक है, स्ट्रैटेजी कहीं नहीं थी। स्ट्रैटेजी क्या होती है? इफ यू आर गोइंग फॉर अ स्ट्रैटेजी, इट्स अ प्लान। ठीक है,
यस।
एक रोड मैप होता है, एक टाइमलाइन होती है कि हमें इतने महीने ये करेंगे, या हम कर तो बहुत कुछ सकते हैं यार। तुम
हम्म।
सबके आइडियाज बहुत सही थे, आइडियाज पे कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है मेरे को, बट द वे यू कंडक्टेड योरसेल्फ, वो प्रॉब्लम में था। ठीक है, तुम सबके आइडियाज सही थे, एंड दैट्स व्हाट नॉर्मली हैपेंस इन अ कंपनी हु इज फेसिंग एट्रिशन, हाई एट्रिशन रेट। ठीक है, बट I have to form a strategy, a plan, a timeline, a roadmap, whatever you want to say, कि अगर मैं कल से वो चीज पे काम करना स्टार्ट करूंगा तो मेरे पास एक प्री प्लान्ड चीज रहे, एक डॉक्यूमेंट रहे, या एक आइडिया रहे कम से कम कि मैं कल क्या करूं, ताकि 6 महीने 8 महीने बाद वो एट्रिशन रेट अपने आप कम हो जाए. You have to take decisions, guys. And
So I
after
have a
doing your
question.
yes, Nishita.
Since you said that these people, the ones who had participated right now, were majorly giving ideas and they did not really come up with any strategies that could be implemented. So if you could just give an example in this particular case, like what strategies can be implemented so that we get an
Sure.
idea.
Sorry. Yeah, am I audible? Everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
ठीक है, तो डेटा सबने एक बार देख लिया है. Have you all went through the data? The
Yes.
guys who are not even in the GD. Nishita?
Yes, sir.
ठीक है. Now, whenever you plan for something ना, कोई भी एक स्ट्रैटेजी जब बनाते हैं तो हम लोग सबसे पहले देखते हैं कोर प्रॉब्लम्स क्या है हमारी. ठीक है, तो जो अभी जीडी में थे उनमें से एक बंदा मेरे को बताओ कोर प्रॉब्लम्स क्या निकली थी. कोई भी एक कोर प्रॉब्लम्स क्या क्या निकली थी. एनीवन?
कंपनसेशन एनफ नहीं था एंड
ओके.
जो फ्यूचर ग्रोथ का प्रोस्पेक्ट नहीं था. मतलब मेजर परसेंटेज वाइज डेटा वाइज वो दोनों मेजर प्रॉब्लम्स दिख रहे थे.
ठीक है. एंड विच डिपार्टमेंट वर दे कमिंग फ्रॉम?
सॉफ्टवेयर डेवलपमेंट, प्रोडक्ट मैनेजमेंट एंड सेल्स एंड मार्केटिंग.
ठीक है. तो निशिता एंड ऑल, जब हमें कोर प्रॉब्लम्स पता है, कोर प्रॉब्लम्स हमें दे रखी है, कौन से डिपार्टमेंट में ये चीजें हो रही है दे रखी है, तो सबसे पहले हम क्या करेंगे, उनके एग्जिट इंटरव्यू उठाएंगे, उसको एनालाइज करेंगे. ठीक है, व्हाट आर द रीजंस दे आर लीविंग. ठीक है, जब भी आप किसी कंपनी में काम करते हो, या आप रिजाइन करते हो, या आप छोड़ के जाते हो, या आप टर्मिनेट होते हो, दे डू अ एग्जिट इंटरव्यू. ठीक है, और वो चीज लिखी हुई थी बेस्ड ऑन एग्जिट इंटरव्यूज एंड एम्प्लॉय सेटिस्फैक्शन सर्वेज, है ना. लैक ऑफ करियर ग्रोथ. अब लैक ऑफ करियर ग्रोथ है तो उसका सोल्यूशन क्या होगा. अब गो ऑन टू द सोल्यूशन. सॉल्यूशंस आपके पास बहुत सारे आ गए, 3 4 सॉल्यूशन आ गए, डिपार्टमेंट वाइज एज वेल एज द प्रॉब्लम वाइज. नाउ यू हैव टू इंटीग्रेट इट. ठीक है, you have to make it up into a plan. Now, assuming you have read the data, lack of career growth, inadequate compensation, as well as work-life imbalance, and lack of recognition also in it was for 20%. Software development 35%, assuming that software development people are not able to get the uh, career growth. Okay, 40% of 35% who are going for the people leaving are not able to get a career growth. What is the solution for that? A fast track initiative where they get, where leadership will choose some people and they'll be able to get into a fast track program which will boost their career growth. Okay, how will you implement it? The first step is to choose right people, right? So the next day what will you will do is get the performance sheet of all the people who are currently working in the software development team, and you'll choose a n number of people and integrate them into a fast track program. Okay, now this is a plan. The fast track program will take a year, in which 3 months they'll be shadowing, for 6 months they'll be shadowing seniors for other managers, and for this next 6 months they'll be acting as the managers. Okay, now this is a plan, this is a roadmap, this is a timeline. If you would have given me this, good. Okay, same for other departments or other problems. For example, inadequate compensation. Now guys, tell me, is there any person who doesn't like more money, who was satisfied with less money, and who wants less money than they are currently earning? Guys, compensation हमेशा problem रहेगी, but company just can't just throw money at employees and expect them to work better, right? So compensation is not a problem. Compensation is a mindset. Company has to decide how much they can pay for a particular role. If they are not able to afford employees at the particular role, then they have to let them go. That's the basics of business. The amount of money which I have, I can't spend more than that, na? So that's why compensation. See, if anyone gives you a data and it shows that compensation is a problem, then that might not be a problem, but that might just be a way to think that people are leaving, and that's how we can, justify it. Okay. But yeah, sometimes compensation is a very huge problem, but that could be discussed. There are much more profound problems that there was. That, for example, work-life imbalance. Now, work-life imbalance, if a person who is hired to do a job for 8 hours can't do it for 12 hours or 13 hours, no? So that's a work-life imbalance. If they are working 7 days a week, or um, doing 10 days continuous work, that's an issue, right? So we have to first justify it if it's true or not. Okay. I hope that answers your question, Nishita.
Yeah, I have another question.
Go ahead.
Um, would it be better to solve the problems department-wise, or would it be better to solve it going in the order of reason for leaving? Like we should move in a order ताकि थोड़ा better रहे, systematic.
That depends upon the panelist you have, or the person who is driving the GD.
हाँ, maybe like supposing if I were over here in this GD और अगर मैं introduction करती तो मैं पहले ही अपने पूरे boardroom को बता देती that we will go in this order ताकि वो थोड़ा systematic रहे तो उस
But
way में better
now
क्या रहेगा
you
कि
have
हम
to
department wise problem solve करें.
हाँ. Now you have to decide on key problems क्या क्या है. For example, inadequate compensation, as I've already explained, is not really problem, but problem for company that they are not having enough money to pay employees. Okay. So if you want to go department wise, then you have to. They are both your choices, right? There's no correct, right or wrong answer. At that time, if the panel goes in a certain direction, then you can go in that direction. If you want to choose, you can choose, but that totally depends upon the situation that you will be having at that time. Okay.
All right, and one last question.
Sure.
How are we supposed to use this competitor analysis? को कैसे हम use करेंगे इसमें इस type की situation में?
Competitor analysis can be used, for example, the fast track promotions that Alpha Tech had, right? The competitive pay mentorship program that can be used for ideation, as well as, for example, I think Pratnan said that stock options and competitive pay. But competitive pay, I think in today's time, generally, what happens is everyone is doing a competitive pay, right? Unless and until a company is really, not willing to pay, they'll be willing to pay a competitive pay. Okay. So the competitor analysis, you can get ideas from them, and you can focus on your ideas as well. Integrate your ideas as well as what ideas have already been implemented by the competitor. Okay. That's how you use competitor analysis. All right.
हाय पीयूष, एक
Yeah,
क्वेश्चन
Praveen.
था मेरा,
Hmm.
लाइक इंट्रोडक्शन के रिगार्डिंग. सॉरी.
Hmm.
क्योंकि ये यहाँ पे जो टाइम था वो 1-2 मिनट मतलब दिया गया था, उसके बाद एंड अगर नॉर्मल जीडी होता है तो इट्स एनफ क्योंकि थोड़ा टाइम मिल जाता है टू बिल्ड अप द पॉइंट्स. बट ये इतना हैवी डेटा मतलब के साथ था ये जो
Hmm.
सिचुएशन था, तो आई
Hmm.
थिंक मतलब लाइक इन बिटवीन पॉइंट्स पुट करने के लिए तो एनफ टाइम था क्योंकि वो पढ़ने के लिए 15 मिनट्स एनफ थे. बट फॉर द इंट्रोडक्शन जो सुमित ने आई गेस सुमित थे या
Hmm.
प्रथम थे,
Hmm.
तो व्हेन उसने जब वो स्टार्ट किया था तो आई थिंक लाइक वो टाइम मुझे लगा कि बहुत कम था. तो लाइक क्या ये दिस इज गोइंग टू बी अ सिनेरियो इन एक्चुअल बोर्डरूम जीडी ऑल्सो कि थोड़ा इनिशियल टाइम ऐसा कम ही होगा थोड़ा सिचुएशन को और मतलब प्रेशराइजिंग बनाने के लिए, या फिर थोड़ा टाइम
Now,
दिया जाता
okay,
है?
good question. Normally what happens is they'll, if they are having the data sheet or the data set they are providing you, they'll give you at least 2 or 2.5 minutes. Okay. So you can
Okay.
go through the data and you have to go through it quick. Okay.
Okay.
And
Mhm.
you all would have given the case GDs, right? केस बेस्ड जीडीज प्रथम दिया है ना। हाँ। तो केस पढ़ते हो जितना टाइम, उतना ही टाइम तुम्हें इस डेटा को पढ़ने में लगेगा।
हम्म।
ठीक है। एंड दिस डेटा, इतना तो डेटा भी नहीं था यार, कितना बड़ा है, एक
हाँ,
पेज, दो
नहीं मतलब
पेज।
वो कोहेरेंटली कोरिलेट करके मतलब इंट्रोडक्शन देने के लिए मुझे
हाँ।
लगा, मतलब बाकी के लिए प्रॉब्लम नहीं था मुझे लगा,
हम्म।
बिकॉज उसके लिए मुझे लगा कि थोड़ा स्टार्ट सुमित का थोड़ा ऐसा फंबल जैसा हो,
और
क्योंकि
सर
मतलब
इसमें पर्टिकुलर में हमें शायद 2 मिनट
हम्म।
तो रीडिंग करने के लिए हमेशा मिलते ही हैं, मतलब अगर कोई भी केस बेस्ड होता है
कोई
वगैरह।
भी केस मिलेगा तुम्हें, मैंने तुम्हें बोला था कि अब 15 मिनट तुम्हें टोटल मिल रहा है। ठीक है।
हाँ।
तुम्हारे ऊपर है। अब सुमित ने जैसे एकदम से स्टार्ट किया, आई वुड हैव स्टार्टेड विद कि ओके लेट्स स्टार्ट द जीडी, this is our problem. The data has already been given to us. So I'll make sure that everyone has a, you can convey your problems as well as your solutions. I'll then collate it and then we'll create a strategy so that I can submit it. Okay.
ओके।
This would
तो
have been my approach. तो उसके बाद उतना टाइम तुम लोगों को मिल गया पढ़ने के लिए उसको,
हम्म।
है ना। जो बंदा ड्राइव कर रहा है, जो बंदा लीड कर रहा है, उसके पास डिसएडवांटेज ये है कि वो डेटा नहीं पढ़ रहा है। ठीक है।
हम्म।
वो लोगों की प्रॉब्लम सुन रहा है, उनका सोल्यूशन सुन रहा है, और वो उस चीज को नोट डाउन कर रहा है। दे आर नोटिंग इट डाउन और दे आर रिमेम्बरिंग इट, एंड दे आर क्रिएटिंग कंटिन्यूसली क्रिएटिंग एंड फॉर्मुलेटिंग अ स्ट्रैटेजी। ठीक है। So whoever drives the interview is the most important person in that particular GD.
ओके ठीक है,
ठीक है।
कोई थैंक यू।
Sure. So guys, let's you can turn your camera off, Pratham. You also. And hands down, please. Gaurav, Pratham. Prantaran, hands down. Okay. Guys, I think you all, Tanishk, camera on. Yeah. So I think you all guys had a basic introduction to a boardroom GD. Now, the second GD we'll be doing is a situational GD, but it's as similar and as closely related with the boardroom GD, because there also you'll be having a problem statement and you all have to work on in a team and give me answer. Okay. All right. 7 people hand raise right now. All right. 1, 2, 3,
I
4, 5, 6,
wanted to
7.
participate, but I can't see the option to raise my hand. Same with me.
Nishita, now that's the problem of your Zoom. I can't help you in that, right? Okay.
It
So
isn't React.
Vishwajit, who was that?
No, I was telling her
Okay,
that it
कोई
isn't
बात नहीं,
React
प्रथम,
section.
they'll figure it out. Okay. Vishwajit, Manish, Tanishk, Sudeshna, Kuber, Harika, and Riza. Richa and Khushi, you can put your hand down. Turn your camera on, guys. Let's not waste much more time on this. Manish, Sudeshna, Kuber, Riza. Kuber, is there a issue with your camera or I'm not able to see you?
So I did turn it on, but I don't know, it's not visible.
Okay. All right, we can choose another person. I think Khushi, no, Richa. Kuber, you can turn your camera off and Richa will take your place. Okay. No worries. All right, put your Prep IDs in the chat. So Manish, Tanishk, Sudeshna, Harika, Reza, Vishwajit, and Richa. Okay, guys. You all heard the feedback as well as how you are supposed to act in a situational as well as boardroom GD. Okay. So I expect much more professionalism as well as much better performance than the last panel. Okay. And please don't make it a fish market because that will affect your results.
Sir, can you give me a 1 minute explanation because I joined late, so I don't have an idea about this.
Did you hear the feedback which I was giving the last minute?
So last feedbacks I heard, but can you give
So
me?
basically, I'll
Yeah.
give you a situation. You have to work with your panel, with your team, and give me a solution. Okay. That's the basic amount which I'm able to give you right now. Manish, if you're not able to turn your camera on, yeah, please. Okay, guys, ready? Same 15 minutes will be given to you all, and let's hope this goes well. Okay, go. So you are a team of disaster management officials in a flood affected region. Limited resources are available, and you must decide on a priority rescue and relief plan. All the other data that you need can be assumed by yourself, and you need to work on that. Okay, go ahead.
So please repeat once again.
Okay, I'll repeat you once again. So you all are a team of disaster management officials in a flood affected region. Okay, flood. Limited resources are available to you all, and you must decide on a priority rescue and relief plan. Okay. So at the end of 15 minutes, I need a rescue plan on the basis of priority as well as your ideologies. Go ahead.
So, hello everyone. I would like to introduce our team of disaster management, and we have to work on a flood related area. We have very limited resources, and our priorities would be the members affected from it. Meanwhile, we also need to take care of the people who cannot be retrieved on an earlier basis. We need to look after their food, medicines, mosquito repellents, and other such details. And I think our first priority should be the pregnant women, the children, and the older people. I would like my other fellow members to take on from here and add their points.
So our
Yes, sir.
first strategy should be to set up the refugee camp in a nearby center so that we can relocate older people to or other people who are in need to that particular center. Also, we would like to have a provide basic necessities like food, grains, milk for children, water facilities. Also, we should take care of medicines of several affected person. After that, we can manage drainage system effectively, and then we can create a plan for that particular subject.
We first need to understand the impact of the flood, and we need to get a measure of the radius and the land mass of where it is affected, and we need to first get a picture of who are identified victims. We need to get a count of the total population in the area, and we also, with the help of the local police, we can get to know further details about the population living there, and we can first identify the victims who are already dead, and we can think about the potential survivors after that. And like one of the panel members said, the children should be our first priority because they are very young and they can't look after themselves. So children and then women are should be taken care. And we need to plan out what teams are needed as of now. So we also discussed about how food supplies are very scarce as of right now. So we need to plan that thing. And as somebody also mentioned, refugee camps should be taken set up immediately, like wherever it is needed.
And also, we
And
need
another
to,
step should
What
be
I
to
think
introduce
is
a
that
helicopter
immediate
for
life-saving measures should be there. Like for first 24 hours, our measures should be more about life-saving because we have less of the resources with us. So we should work on that. Like how can we manage our resources to first 24 hours so that we can save the maximum lives of the children, of the ladies, and of course of the elderly people. And again, the family who are trapped in the high risk zones, they should be immediately rescued. Third, to the general public who are around or who have more risk of getting higher risks of that area. So I think our priorities should
Mm,
be made likewise.
For
I would
this, we
like to
can
add
take help of
that
NDRF
okay.
and SDRF teams. We
hire a
can
person.
relocate 10 to 15 teams in a affected area so that NDRF and SDRF can carry rescue operation. Also, we can take help of NGOs by providing basic necessities like safety precautions and lots of other things.
First
I
of all,
think,
we
in
need
my
to
opinion, we first need to analyze the geographical aspects of the area and obviously, as discussed, transfer all the people to hired located areas for the immediate relief, and we must provide them medical assistance thereafter to the needies. And the next thing we must do is we must communicate this to other media or other like help seeking institutions like NGO, so that we can get as much as help possible and in the quickest manner from everywhere possible.
First of all, we need to
hopes, I
And
think
definitely,
that
yeah. Go
we
ahead,
need
go
to
ahead.
hopes, I think that to
like who
first of
are
all we need an immediate arrangement of at least two helicopters and then a boat service to relocate the affected people. The
but
helicopter
we
could
have
be
limited
used in
resources, right? How
dropping food and immediate necessities, which I mentioned before. And one of my panelists, as she mentioned, that we can contact with the nearby people so that they could be an immediate help to those affected, and we can also plan to relocate the affected ones.
Okay, we
Yeah,
also
so
plan out the
I
number
have a
of
point that I'll try to adding the point. Definitely, the basic measurement and basic survey there is going on. We can use the drone measurement where actually the affected people are there. And first, we try to go with a drone measurement that where actually the people are affected. And the second point I likely to point it out that as a disaster management official, we can communicate the other districts. Okay, the nearby district where we can get the resources as well. Okay, so we have to contact with the other district, and if there is a major region which can be affected by the floods, then we can contact with the other state as well, from the central government, from where we can taking the resources. And the drone measurement definitely helping us to find out the victims. And definitely the above areas and the helicopters and the boatsman service, definitely we have to contacted them to starting the relief measures to get to the nearby camps.
I would
and
like to add one
this
more
I would
point that
like to
during
add a
flood,
point
lots of
that
snacks
like
come
in
in
any
the
rescue
affected
or
area
disaster
so that
rescue
we have to.
operation, the most important thing is communication and coordination. So we can use radio and satellite phones to coordinate in the rescue effort, and emergency broadcasters can be used. Like for example, loudspeakers can be used, social media, SMS could be used, so that our limited resources should be effectively used, not ineffectively. So we should make the safe zone for reporting missing persons. This is what is the main point, I think, which is that for the people who we should make a safe zone for a person who is missing and who need to be locate to their people, parents, or children especially, and women who need to go back to their home. So safe zone should be made for them.
I think if it is a
Also,
flood-affected area, so there is a very high chance probability that heavy rains are taking place. So the possibilities of having proper signal or all radio signal communication might be very low. And also drone idea would be really good if there was no continuous rain happening. So a drone might be risky thing to do right now because the chances of it surviving in the air is going to be very less if it is still raining very heavily. So we need to find other ground level alternatives like sending the people around and people who are especially the fire engine teams or disaster management teams who are capable of actually getting into places where normal people can't get and get a rough idea of what is happening. So actually the problem is when you are looking it in the aerial view, you can only see the surface level of what's happening. But many houses get collapsed and like they go bottom of the land. So for that, people need to go around and go down the tunnels and stuff like that, and they need to identify the problems at the ground level.
Okay, I would
I
like to
think,
add
in
a
my
point like
opinion,
efficiency is important now
I ag-
because we have very limited resources and we have to maximize our efforts. First of all, we need to group the people who are very competent enough to be a rescuer, and we have to uh, divide the groups to certain to have a certain parameters of how quickly can they rescue the people. And also uh, I think donations would be a good thing, good idea to get in more resources from like nearby districts to acquire more resources like food and camps or water bottles or something else. And also, yeah, we should actually work on how to maximize our efficiency mainly
Uh,
by bringing more personnel from outside.
and
Oops,
for
we
that, we
can
can start
contact
we
safety
can
NDRF.
we
rescue
can
operation. For
I
example,
think,
also
in my
people go stuck in
opinion,
their
the
damaged house,
solutions we
so
are
we have to rescue
discussing.
them in a primary
Guys,
our
guys,
objective,
guys,
so that we
please,
can.
Manish, guys, sorry to disturb you in between. Don't make it a fish market. Okay. I just said this at the starting, and this is not acceptable. Okay. Don't make this a fish market. And please, just please.
So we've come to a conclusion that like we've all discussed about the priorities which we have to note down. So one of the panel members just said that the supplements, the food and the water are the first priority for now. So what are the other priorities? Let's discuss them one by one.
I think our
We can
next
I think
priority
in
should
my
be
I think
to
in my
prevent debt.
opinion, the I think in my opinion, the solutions we have discussed, it is important to strategize it as we have to keep in mind the points such as we have very limited resources, so we can divide it into three parts. That is, first we have to act on the immediate response, which would be like shifting the emergency cases to medical assistance nearby, and moving them to highland places. Then I think after that there should be a short term and long term plan. We can discuss on those plans now.
Okay,
Yes, I think
yeah.
our
So
first priority was to rescue as many people as we can, and now it's our priority to prevent death due to injuries, infection, and dehydration. So
And
we should take
also,
care of the people whom we have rescued. So this should be our the most important aspect.
and also one
Yes,
thing is
this
bringing
can be.
awareness to the community that there is something going on and we need more personnel. So we have to make build our awareness to the other districts or nearby cities or towns around there to get more personnel to the flooded area to
one
get more.
of our other priorities
Discussion
should
on
be to
discussion on arrangement of the food supplies, and one of the panel members said that immediate rescuing them and taking care. So what is the next step we are going to follow?
I
we need
think
to
these are the short term plans which we discussed. So
Yeah, I think
in the
I,
adding
I
to
don't think
that,
we can plan any long term because it's a disaster management act. So everything has to be done immediately because people are in a very critical situation. So
Yes.
Yes,
what is
after
So,
settling
like
them to refugee
from
camp, we should take care
rescuing
of
people
basic necessities
to
like medicine, food grains, also milk to children, so
yes, we've
yes.
discussed that
So
those
from
comes under
there
rescuing
subject.
will be
people
lots of
to
animals
uh,
like snake will come. So we have to do pest control so that we can protect people from different animals.
And also informing the victims about their uh, family conditions would be the next priority. I think every family would be very worried about how their family is going to be. Like
So
the
it should
No, I don't
communication has to be
today
the next
because if you're
priority.
So it
informing
should
some
be more
families about
like
status, I think other.
rescuing as many people and then providing them the necessities they require. Like to the survivors, we should give the first aid and all the necessities which they
I
require
think that has
to.
already been discussed, right? We have
Yes.
already discussed how to
So
supply the necessities, and the next step.
so
Also,
me
we can
So
discuss
I
what we are
think
going to provide the
once the
compensation
Compensation would be.
compensation
We
part.
have
We
once
can
not
decide
talked
what
about
we
the
are.
most important thing, that is transport for relocating the victims, and we also need to contact the local NDRF team and the police
I think we
officers
had
for
discussed
further
about it.
help.
yes,
We are
right.
adding it in the summary so that that can be used as a conclusion.
Given that there are limited resources, how could we uh, like what transportation would be effective? Like do we have
Yes,
to
with the
assume
transformation, like rebuilding of the infrastructure and restoring of their places is more important. Contacted with the government for like building of roads again and the bridges and paths for their movement is very important. And I think their mental health and psychological support should be given to them because they have gone through a very tough time. So I think these are some points we should consider.
I
Yes,
think
yes,
Yes,
yes.
so as my peer said,
So
so after once all the medical assistance is provided, these are the long term goals I was talking about, and we must not forget that in this situation there will be a lot of panic and probably hubbub which will be occurring there. I think we must also involve the police personnels to manage and take care of such situations and provide the necessary counseling required.
I think we
yeah,
haven't
so
yet
Someone
it's
should
fair to say,
conclude
right?
now. We are
So
out of
yeah,
time.
so
what
yeah.
would be the
So first
transportation
we
method.
discussed about arranging the supplements and then rescuing the people who are who needs immediate care and taking them to refugee camps. And another thing is media management. So we need to manage the media and tell them what's going on. And ultimately, we have to inform the family members, making sure that there is no panic among other family members who still don't know the status of their people. And at last, we can discuss about compensations after discussing with the government, affected casualties, and taking a complete count. And after documentation, we can discuss with the government what needs to be done after that. Yeah.
Okay. So guys, hands down first and mute. Among 7 of you who all were there when I was giving the feedback for the last session, hand raise. Marika was there, Tanishq was there, Richa was there, Vishwajit there. So basically, except Reza, everyone was there, right? So now let me ask you one thing. How many of you felt that this was a situational GD? And how many of you felt that this was a normal GD for you all? Tell me, hands down, first of all, whoever was there. Who thought that this was a normal GD for you all? किस किस को लगा ये नॉर्मल जीडी चल रहा था पहले ये बता दो तो किसको नहीं समझ में आया सो only Sudeshna and Harika you think you thought that this was a normal GD for you all and others all you thought that this was a situational GD right
Like we felt as it were a
yes
normal
that's what I'm asking right किस किस को लगा कि ये नॉर्मल जीडी चल रहा है आप लोगों के लिए
Sir, I meant that it was supposed to be a situational GD, but it was going like a normal GD.
exactly
I guess.
now why was this happening
One thing I wanted to say was nobody is ready to listen other person's perspective, and nobody is thinking that we are going to help each other. Not actually, it looks like we are ready to attack each other, but not actually help each other. They are not.
okay Harika okay Richa coming to you first you started with the GD
Yes, sir.
you wanted to drive it but you were not able to okay You gave the opportunity of driving the interview. The first thing you said, whenever you started with giving your problems and solutions, right? What was the feedback that I gave? That we don't have to give problems. The person who is driving the interview is not supposed to give problems and solutions. They have to consolidate it. Once you started, everyone was giving the problems, the solutions. We should do this, we should do this, we should do this. Vishwajit tried to get back the pace to what was supposed to happen, but just it went to haywire. Manish, how many times did you give your suggestions?
4 or 5 times, I think.
And how many times was it asked from you?
Like what?
How many times did someone ask you to give your suggestions? Did someone ask you to give your suggestions? No?
Yeah.
What did I say when I was giving the feedback? The person who will be driving the interview will have to ask the people to give their answers. They will have to ask people to give their problems, their responses, their solutions. This GD, no one was driving. Everyone was just answering their own, giving just feedbacks, reviews, problems. Guys, you all had 15 minutes to discuss, and all you came out with. And what I remember is Sudeshna was speaking about long term. That's what I remember. Long term goals. Richa, I don't remember a single point from you. Vishwajit, you started consolidating with your peers and asking them for the feedback and the problems and the responses, but you're not able to control them because the locus of control was lost when Richa started. Because as she started, she became the focus and then she just left it, right? Guys, you have to understand if you are in a situational GD and if a person is leading, let them lead. Okay. This was a supposed to be a group activity or group discussion. A situation was given to you. People are dying there in flood. And you are discussing if we should use drone or get donations or should we go for counseling? Within few hours, some people will die and you are thinking about counseling. What's the point? Was there any point in discussing counseling here? Tell me. Did we get a robust plan? Vishwajit, you concluded, no? Tell me, did we get a robust plan?
No, Piyush. I was trying to like make sure that everybody gives inputs together and consolidate one plan, but wasn't able to do that. So ultimately, I have
Exactly.
the points from each one, but it's not effective.
So
वही सर मैं बोलने वाला था कि लेट विश्वजीत विल लीड द फिर हम लोग करके करके शॉर्ट टर्म, लेकिन वो तो बोलने का मौका ही मतलब मिला नहीं।
क्यों नहीं मिला? क्योंकि कोई ड्राइव नहीं कर रहा था. If someone would have driven this interview, just discussion, they would have asked each and every person to, okay, let Manish speak, then we'll come to Tanish, then we'll come to Harika, then we'll come to Sudeshna. If I was there, I would have said that, okay, so this is a problem. We are a team, and within few, there's an area which is flooded right now. Okay, now we have to discuss what are the immediate scenarios that we should be working on. Okay, I will ask each one of you to convey their solutions as well as what they are focusing on. We'll start with Sudeshna, then Sudeshna will speak. Then, okay, let's go for Tanishq, then you will tell. Okay, now Tanishq, you have given a very good point. Okay, Harika, now you tell me your opinion on this. Okay, Harika, good point. Richa, now you will tell me. Vishwajit, you tell me. Manish, you tell me. Riza, you tell me. Now one round is done. Okay, I'll consolidate it. I'll give all of you a simple summary of what has been done. This will only take 5 to 6 minutes, right? Then you'll again go for a second round. That will take you another 6 minutes. That's 12 minutes. Then at that point, I'll formulate a strategy, a plan. While some of you are speaking, I'll formulate a plan. And within the next 2 minutes, I'll submit the plan. Got it?
So I tried to do that exactly, but the thing is, no one was listening. In the middle, at least four,
Richa,
five
Richa,
times.
Richa, let me stop you here. Can you control someone else who is sitting in front of you?
No.
No, no. Well, Vishwajit was saying everybody was listening. Okay. I'm not saying that that's your problem, but it's the way you speak, it's the way you handle yourself. Okay. Now, after that, the first time you spoke, you wanted to rally the group. But the next time you spoke, you gave your problem and solution. You gave up on the role as a driver, right?
Sir, because there was lot of chaos in the middle and no one was listening.
Yes, let me just ask you this ask you all people right now sitting here. Why are you all making a group discussion a fish market? All of you. Sudeshna is speaking, not letting Harika speak. Reza is speaking, not let another person speak. Why? Guys, if you focus on your screen, there is a very small green color border will come whenever someone speaks. Okay. Now, this is a team discussion. If you see someone else speaking, either you can hold on to your point. Okay. And that's why a driver is very important in a situational or a boardroom GD. They'll give you a sequence. The next day, if Harika goes for a boardroom GD, Harika, you have to make sure that you give a sequence to all the people who are sitting here. Okay. If Sudeshna, you go for a GD, if you are a driver, you have to make sure that every person who are sitting with you gets a particular sequence number. Right? Sorry.
Sir,
Okay.
when once a similar G of such form happened, Sumit sir, वहाँ पे भी एक बंदा ऐसे ही कर रहा था. He was trying to drive और वो हर 2 सेकंड पे अपना वो दे रहा था पॉइंट्स. तो सर ने मना किया था कि मतलब आपको ऐसे नहीं करना है. जहाँ भी ग्रुप होगा कोई इतना डिसेंट आदमी नहीं बैठा होगा कि वो आपकी बात सुने कि आप नेक्स्ट उसको बोल रहे हो. और जिसके पास भी अच्छे पॉइंट्स होंगे वो बोलेगा. तो मतलब ऐसा नहीं बनना है.
Richa, let me tell you one thing. A situational GD और एक ग्रुप एवेल्यूएशन में डिफरेंस होता है. ठीक है. सिचुएशनल जीडी में तुम सब लोग एक ही. आई विल गिव यू सिंपल सिचुएशन राइट नाउ. ठीक है. तुम 7 लोग एक बोट में हो. स्टॉर्म आ रहा है. तुम में से 2 लोग को फेंकना पड़ेगा बोट से. कैसे डिसाइड करोगे कौन फेंकेगा? कर सकते हो डिसाइड? कोई खुद कूदेगा पानी में? नहीं कूदेगा ना. फिर तुम्हें डिसाइड करना पड़ेगा. इफ आई एम द ड्राइवर, आई विल हैव टू डिसाइड कि कौन 2 लोग को मैं फेंकूंगा बोट से. और मैं कैसे डिसाइड करूंगा फिर ये किसके पास क्या स्किल्स हैं, कौन किसके पास, किसी को फर्स्ट एड आता है या नहीं आता, किसी को सेलिंग आती है नहीं आती, किसी को रेडियो कम्युनिकेशन के बारे में थोड़ी सी नॉलेज है या नहीं. इंजीनियरिंग में अगर किसी को मैकेनिकल इंजीनियरिंग या इलेक्ट्रिकल इंजीनियरिंग आती है तो वो बोट का संभाल सकता है. किसी को खाना बनाना आता है नहीं आता. नाउ दीज आर द एस्पेक्ट्स दैट ऑन विच आई विल जज. और मैंने क्या बोला था? डिटेल्स अपने हिसाब से अज्यूम करना. किसी ने डिटेल्स अपने हिसाब से अज्यूम नहीं करी. खुद ही मान लिया हमारे पास ड्रोन है, खुद ही मान लिया हमारे पास हेलीकॉप्टर आ रहा है. कहां से आ रहा है भाई? किसको पता है? तुम लोग 7 लोग यहीं बैठे हो ना. किसी के पास अलग से तो इन्फॉर्मेशन गया नहीं था, तो किसने बोला ड्रोन है हमारे पास? उड़ीसा में अगर, या फिर उड़ीसा में अगर बाढ़ आती है, या फिर उत्तराखंड में बादल फट गया, बाढ़ आ रही है, ठीक है, जो वहां पर इमीडिएट रिस्पॉन्डर्स होंगे, वो क्या ड्रोन ढूंढते फिरेंगे? नहीं ना। वो तो सबसे पहले ये देखेंगे हमारे पास खाना कितना है, हमारे पास लोग कितने बचाने को, और हमारे पास इक्विपमेंट क्या क्या है। तीन चीजें इंपॉर्टेंट होती है किसी भी रिलीफ फंड के लिए, रिलीफ के लिए। इक्विपमेंट, कितने लोगों को बचाने, टारगेट क्या है हमारा, कितने लोगों को बचाना है हमें, ठीक है, और अलग से सिचुएशंस क्या क्या हो सकती हैं। फ्लड आई है, हो सकता है बारिश और आए। किसी ने वेदर रिपोर्ट का नहीं बोला कि हमें पहले वेदर रिपोर्ट देखनी चाहिए कि और बारिश होगी या नहीं होगी, ठीक है। उसके भाई तुम वेदर रिपोर्ट देखोगे तभी तो तुम हेलीकॉप्टर चलाओगे। स्टॉर्म में कौन सा हेलीकॉप्टर चलता है? थिंकिंग प्रोसेस। आई
Sir,
वाज, हाँ, हाँ विश्व,
sir, just a question.
हाँ प्रथम।
Sir, in this, like you are saying that the driver is everything. Like the
हम्म
driver will do most of the work.
हम्म
So that can the driver change?
चेंज हो सकता है, अगर पहला ड्राइवर ढंग से काम नहीं कर रहा तो करेगा, चेंज होगा।
ऐसे तो रिचा अगर को मौका मिल जाता शायद वो ड्राइवर बन जाती, तो वो बन
बिल्कुल,
सकती थी।
बिल्कुल।
ओके।
अगर अगर कोई बंदा ड्राइव करने को रेडी है, जैसे रिचा ने स्टार्ट किया बट शी वाज नॉट द ड्राइवर,
यस सर।
विश्वजीत वाज द ड्राइवर, ठीक है।
यस सर।
इस कंटेक्स्ट में, इस
हाँ।
सिचुएशन में विश्वजीत ने ड्राइव किया, ठीक है।
यस सर।
तो उसकी कैपेबिलिटी ऑन ड्राइविंग एंड रैलिंग पीपल बिहाइंड हिम इज मच बेटर देन रिचा।
यस सर।
तो अब मैं जज किस चीज पे करूंगा कि किसने ज्यादा पॉइंट्स बोले, या किस कौन रैली कर सकता है लोगों को?
दिल्ली सर।
सिंपल।
ओके।
सिचुएशन, यार guys, तुम लोगों को समझ में आना चाहिए, सिचुएशन ऐसी नहीं है कि तुम्हें ही जाके रिलीव करना है। तुम्हारा थॉट प्रोसेस देख रहे हैं वो वहां पर, है ना। दे आर आस्किंग कि भाई, because after MBA you'll all be leading your own teams, you'll be the managers or senior managers. Who all have work experience will be senior managers, who don't have they'll be managers, ठीक है। You'll have a team under you, you will have to lead them. Now if the team overpowers you, work won't be done. That's the truth. If you are not able to lead the team, you'll be a follower, and whatever happens to a follower is not something you should know. Okay. Questions? Nobody has questions?
Uh, Sir, we can say that name of the GD
Ganesh, Ganesh, you are not
that let
audible.
the Vishwajit lead the team now and for the short term.
Ganesh, you are not audible. Can you repeat?
No, it's audible.
No.
No, I think he meant to ask that can we call out names and refer to the person and say he can lead now, something like that.
Yes. Guys, you are in सिचुएशनल जीडी में। अगर तुम लोग ऑफलाइन जाके बैठ रहे हो, तुम सामने बैठे होगे, सामने वाले के चेयर पे बैठा है वो सामने वाला बंदा, उसको पॉइंट आउट करके बोलोगे ओके लेट्स लेट। और व्हाट हैपेंस इन नॉर्मल जीडीज ना, कि तुम्हें एक बैज नंबर दिया जाता है, एक बिलेट दिया जाता है, ठीक है, on which your sequence number or your number is written. So you can mention, okay, number one, number two, number three, number four. You can mention that. I haven't given you all a number because everything is open here, right? Your names are written, your Prep ID is written. You are sitting here. I did not give you any number on that. Okay, but that's the crux of the problem. ठीक है?
Yes, sir.
But wouldn't this give brownie points to somebody who is leading the entire discussion? I'm just asking, I'm not sure.
That's a disadvantage also, no? The person who is
How?
driving the interview will not be able to
Hmm.
provide their own points.
Actually, they
Sir,
cannot provide their own points.
No,
Okay, all
they
right.
have to consolidate. They have, Nishita, if you are focusing on rallying people behind you, How will you think on the and you have to continuously you'll have a plan for in first round you will have a plan on the first basis of the first round suggestions, right? You'll be planning that, and in the second round suggestions, in the second round you'll get more suggestions and more advanced planning, right?
Yeah.
So you have to continuously work in your mind to formulate a strategy encompassing all the suggestions that you got for the both two rounds. Will you be able to provide? Will you be able to think your own points at that time?
Okay, so basically introduction and a conclusion,
Exactly.
which, okay, all right, got it.
And your thinking process, if you are able to encompass all the suggestions, then only it will be a good, it will be a brownie point. But if someone, fumbles on that and does not even, eliminate someone's suggestion and is not able to form up a good strategy, then it will be a negative point for them. Got it? Questions?
I have a question, Piyush.
Yeah,
So
Vishwajit.
one of the members, I think it was Manish. So he was just barging in completely irrespective of what others were talking and giving his own points, and he was not stopping. So in such situations, like how to deal with like these kind of entries and these kind of.
See, now that you have to make sure that they know the process. Okay. That's why I told the driver is the most important person. Okay. If in the starting a person would have said, okay, we'll be moving forward in this nature, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. Okay.
Yeah.
Then you have already provided a framework. Okay. They all know their schedule. They all know their sequence. So then they won't be able to barge in, right?
Yeah, got it.
So think of boardroom and situational GD as a structured and role-playing mix. Okay. But the structure is not given by the panel. The role is not given by the panel. You have to decide among yourselves. Okay. All right.
सर
Yeah.
क्वेश्चन था सर जैसे कि मतलब ये जीडी को ही अगर कंसिडर करे सो द ओपनिंग वाज नॉट लाइक वेरी मच गुड एंड उसके बाद फिर कोई मतलब ऐसे लीड लिया एंड ऐसा अगर सिचुएशन हो हम देख रहे हैं कि मतलब ऐसे दो तीन लोग दे आर ट्राइंग टू टेक द लीड साइमल्टेनियसली कोई ऐसा क्लैश टाइप का कुछ दिखने को मिल रहा है क्योंकि मतलब ऑब्वियसली ऐसे कुछ सर्टेन तो नहीं रहता तो सर वैसे सिचुएशंस में लाइक बैक टू नॉर्मल से कैसे लाया जाए या फिर आप मतलब क्या करना चाहिए वैसे
So. That's why when a person is driving a GD, the person has to make sure that they are confident enough that they are able to rally the people. ठीक है? हमेशा bottom line वही है. If you're not confident enough that you will be able to get the attention of the whole group and able to control the whole group, don't go for it. Okay?
सर पर
Focus.
मतलब वो तो हमारे हाथ में नहीं है ना कि जो सामने वाला मतलब अगर ही इज नॉट कॉन्फिडेंट एंड स्टिल somebody is trying to like barge in and
No, that's
मतलब
what I was
chaos
saying. So there's no सामने वाला confident नहीं है, then take charge.
अच्छा
सामने
okay
वाला अगर कॉन्फिडेंट नहीं है, फॉर एग्जाम्पल रिचा डोंट माइंड मी, ओके, फॉर एग्जाम्पल इन दिस केस रिचा वॉज नॉट कॉन्फिडेंट. ठीक है. शी स्टार्टेड द इंट्रोडक्शन इन अ वेरी आई वुड से लीनियंट मैनर. ओके. There was no scheduling, there was no structure in the process that she wanted to go forward. Okay. So that's why Vishwajit had to jump in. She didn't, मतलब Vishwajit didn't wanted to take the baton from Richa, but that was the need of the hour. Okay. Because all of others were making a fish market. That's why someone had to take the deal ना. Chaos में
yeah
जब chaos होता है, ठीक है, एक पर्सन अगर चार्ज ले ले chaos खत्म हो जाएगा. ठीक है. अगर
okay
तुम्हें लग रहा है कि जीडी में जो बंदा लीड कर रहा है, जो ड्राइव कर रहा है, ही इज नॉट एबल टू लीड इट, टेक चार्ज योरसेल्फ एंड लेट्स सी हाउ इट वर्क्स. ठीक है. बट
okay
if you are taking charge, make sure don't fumble in that. Okay.
ओके
हम्म,
सर एक और चीज पूछनी थी जैसे कि जैसे इफ आई एम नॉट रॉन्ग आई माइट बी रॉन्ग नॉर्मल जीडीज में मतलब ऐसे बोला गया था कि अगर कोई सामने वाला मतलब आपको कुछ काट रहा है जैसे कि इसमें भी कोई शायद मेरे को बोला कि मतलब लॉन्ग टर्म गोल्स इज नॉट वेरी एफिशिएंट लाइक टू डिस्कस इन सच सिचुएशंस
एक
तो
मिनट सुदेश, मैं समझ गया तेरा क्वेश्चन, समझ गया। रिफ्यूट करना बोर्ड रूम जीडी और
सर आई थिंक यू आर स्टक इज इट ओनली
I
फॉर
don't know,
मी
someone just kicked me out. Okay,
या
laggy.
It's good. It is. You can speak, Piyush. Yeah.
Audible or not?
It's
या
all.
या
Yeah,
या
yeah, yeah.
Am I audible, guys?
Yes.
या
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, sir,
So
you're audible.
okay. So Sudeshna, sorry, Sudeshna, I got your question. Boardroom GDs as well as situation GDs, you are in a team. टीम में क्लैश होगा तभी एक नया आइडिया निकलेगा, तभी एक बेटर आइडिया निकलेगा। ठीक है, अगर इट्स सपोज इट्स अ बोर्ड रूम जीडी और अ सिचुएशनल जीडी, ठीक है, देन गो फॉर इट, रिफ्यूट करो। ठीक है ना,
ओके
नए जरूरी नहीं है कि नए आइडियाज ही देने हैं। दैट, अब मान लो फॉर एग्जांपल इफ आई एम ड्राइविंग, आई विल नॉट से कि मेरे मेरे पास अजम्पशंस है, ये मटेरियल्स मेरे पास है, अज्यूम नहीं करूंगा मैं। हो सकता है आप करो अज्यूम। ठीक है, so we'll have to first assume that the weather, it's the weather report is good and it's not supposed to rain for the next few days, and the water will flow out and will dry up soon. That's why we need to hold the rescue operation for only 2 to 3 days. ठीक है, तो assumption से भी तो निकाल सकते हैं ना मटेरियल्स
या
हमारे पास क्या क्या है, हमारे पास हेल्प, करंट इमीडिएट हेल्प हमारे पास किस किस से मिल रही है। ठीक है, these all the things which are you can assume. That's why I gave you the statement for this purpose, only so that you could assume what's happening, but nobody assumed it, they just went for their own prompts. ठीक है सुदेशना, I hope that answers your question. Harika,
yes
I think
thank
you
you
have a question.
Yeah, the same thing about refuting. Like during the GDA, I have some refute. Like I wanted to refute some
Hmm.
things which they
Hmm.
wanted to say, but I couldn't. Like I don't know. I was supposed to, or I don't. So
Okay, no worries. ठीक है, so I think guys, all of you got the experience of a boardroom as well as a situational GD. ठीक है, so let's end this session here. uh, Wait for a minute, I'll let you know guys. Apurv, are you there?
Yes, Piyush.
You can stop the recording.
Okay.
सर आई हैड वन लास्ट क्वेश्चन। कोई स्पेसिफिक
Mhm.
कॉलेजेस हैं क्या जहाँ पे ये वाले पर्टिकुलरली होते हैं बोर्ड रूम और ये सिचुएशनल